Okay. All right. Finally. I had to wait for my freaking drivers to figure its own, stuff out. So, anyways, welcome to another episode of Gaming Got Me in the Fields by Ham Solo 05 Gaming on here on the TSWS Gaming YouTube channel. Welcome, those of you that decided to come through that are here now, and those of you that are going to be watching later on. We have quite a bit of some dope news to talk about today. I definitely want to kick it off a little bit with some dope news that I just seen through going obviously on Twitter, but on YouTube as well. Redfall has some fantastic gameplay that I'm actually going to show you a little bit of what Cold Eastwood was playing just for a little while, just to kind of get a sense of we're looking at coming. But really exciting stuff. I'm definitely excited from the game. I'm more excited than I was prior. I had recently said that I'm tired of seeing the game. I just want to play it. I'm not gonna lie, after seeing some people do some real actual gameplay, it was refreshing. It was a very, very refreshing kind of look instead of having the devs or PR tell you what the game feels like or how it's gonna be, which is nice. I mean, it's nice to see them or hear them say what they gotta say a couple times, but after about like the 5 or 6 time, it's like, all right, dude, we need somebody that's a little less biased to hop in here and try it out and see what this is all about. And I tell you what, that Redfall looked hot. That Redfall looked real hot. I'm super excited to jump back into that joint. That thing looks nice. But anyways, before we go any further, let me go on ahead and throw this up just so you can kind of see what it looked like in game. So let's see. I gotta love that. All right, there we go. So let me make that a little bit more visible so you guys can see it. I usually turn it down a little bit so when I can read, you guys can still kind of see the gameplay going on in the background. But this is super dope right here. Like, the game looks phenomenal. As you see, I typed in Cold Eastwood here on the top. But yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to hop into this game multiplayer. But what I was actually kind of surprised is how much the game, after watching it this time around, thinking like, man, like I actually wouldn't mind trying this out for a little while single player. Beforehand, I was just like, I don't know, I think this is gonna only be multiplayer for me. I'll hop in and out just with the buds, but I might have to get at this alone for a little while just to see how it goes. It seems pretty dope. What up, Matt Likes Games? I see you in the chat. John Wolf. John Wolf hops in and says, Mr. Solo, hope you are well. My friend, I'm actually doing fantastic right now. I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing very good. As a matter of fact, let me show you something. Let me show you. What's this? What's this I got right here? What's this I got right here? What's this I got right here? I'm sure you know what this is. Sir John, Sir Matt. I'm sure you guys know what this is. This thing look familiar? This big box. Does that look kind of cool? I definitely gotta unbox that sometime in the near future. But Matt Likes Games in the chat. Oh yeah, Matt, you see it. He said Matt Likes Games says unanimously positive hands on preview for Redfall is exciting. Absolutely. The emphasis on single player with the previews make me so happy. And then of course, he recognized the box. It keeps disappearing. He recognized the box. The box is something I can't wait to open. Oh yeah, and unboxing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it live or not. I kind of wanted to wait to talk to Kay Asante first. Maybe try to get everything set up prior to get everything set up prior to like showing it off. Maybe doing part of my unboxing video first of just like, here's the freshness, and then doing the second part as like, here I am playing, an Xbox game native on my Steam Deck. So I can't wait to get into it. I really can't. It's gonna be super duper dope and exciting. But oh snap, moving my own body. But anyways, moving on. So you guys see here this Redfall gameplay looks pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie, it looks great. Here's what's funny, and we're gonna kind of come back to this a little bit later, but it's funny to me to see Twitter now and see how all these kind of fanboys and whatnot are sitting back like, oh man, this game was because there was something that Harvey Smith said about this game was supposed to possibly be on PlayStation at one point, but it ended up not coming out. They actually didn't even actually start working on it. It was just like, it was just supposed to come out for PlayStation at some point once they got done making it and everything like that. But since they got purchased by Microsoft, Harvey Smith says they cut that quick. Xbox and PC game only. And you know what? I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. I don't know why they're complaining when Stellar Blade is literally coming out this year and everybody and their mom knows that was supposed to come out everywhere, and that's not even purchased by Sony. Yes, Kay Asante, someone called my name. Yeah, absolutely, I did, brother. I sure did. I got this little bad boy up in the mail today. It was fantastic, brother. It was fantastic. I'm super duper excited to talk with you. I did check out the tiny the Tiny 11, like you told me. I watched that whole video. Downloaded Tiny 11. I also downloaded was it Rufus as well, Kay Asante. So then I can move that stuff over. All I need to do is go get a SD card, which I can just go probably snag one at Walmart right down the street. Got to make sure, Matt was saying to make sure that it's A2, the A2 type of SD card, because for whatever the X1 or something like that won't be recognized or won't work properly unless you like take off some partitions or something like that. Something I seen in the video. I don't know what I'm talking about, but anyways, I'm really excited to hop into space and talk to you about it with Matt here, because he's really interested in the stuff that you were talking about this last Friday. Can't wait to have you back on the show this Friday. It's going to be awesome. I will definitely hit you up in the DMs. I was going to actually see what you were up to tomorrow, because while my daughter's in school, sure wouldn't mind getting myself set up. But anyways, moving forward. So as you see, we watched a little bit of Redfall, courtesy of Colt Eastwood. Thank you, sir, for going out and checking out that game, trying it for us, and just giving us a little preview of what is there. But let's actually get into the news, because that's kind of what I'm here to do, is talk about the news, not just sit here and talk about myself. So let me hop into the very first article that I have here, which is kind of a sad one. So EA is delisting several Battlefield games in April. Servers are shutting down. So like there's that one game, I believe it's like Battlefield like 1943 or 1940 something, I don't know, but that game is completely online. So guess what's happened in that game? It doesn't matter if you have a disc or whatever, that game is gone. But let's actually get into the article real quick. So it says Electronic Arts announces, by the way, this article is written by George Yang. I like to try to remember to, at least announce their names, at least pay them that respect, because they did the hard work of writing the article and whatnot. But this is from, I believe it is, GameSpot. And as I said, George Yang says Electronic Arts announced that it will be delisting Battlefield 1943. So yeah, that was it. As well as Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2 from digital storefronts on April 28th. Additional, their online services will be shut down on December 8th. A previous announcement also included Mirror's Edge. Okay. But this was omitted from an update version several hours later, and now appears it will not be delisted. So a lot of people running around saying that Mirror's Edge was going to be delisted as well. Luckily, I waited a little bit, and here's a new article saying that it is not going to be delisted. It says, oddly, this didn't appear to be a mistake when it was first posted, as a statement mentions Mirror's Edge and its parkour specifically. So it seems like that was supposed to go, but it then ended up not going anywhere, which is interesting. Kind of curious how that happened. But anyways, while these titles hold a special place in our hearts, we're now looking forward to creating new memories alongside you as we shift our focus towards our current and future Battlefield experiences, reads a statement on EA's website. And while not a Battlefield title, many of us who worked on Battlefield have also been a part of the development of Mirror's Edge. We look back fondly on Faith and an icon as an iconic character in her parkour style gameplay. So, I mean, I tell you, I don't know how to feel about this. What I do feel is I need to hop in and try to play some multiplayer in these games just so I can get that experience one more time before it goes away. By the way, I believe they said it goes away December. Oh wait. Okay, so they're delisted April 28th, but they're going to be shutting down December 8th. So just keep that in mind. They'll be delisted then, but it won't actually be shut down until December 8th. So you'll have all the rest of the year to be able to play the game pretty much. While these games will soon no longer be able to be purchased, offline features such as single player campaigns will still be playable for Bad Company 1 and 2 after December 8th. Battlefield 1943 is an online only multiplayer game, so after that date has passed, it will be unplayable. These are the latest EA games to have their upcoming online functionality removed. Last year, EA shut down several servers, such as several games in the Command and Conquer series and on Rush. Mirror's Edge Online shutdown was previously announced to be in January 19th, 2023. All right, so there you have it. Battlefield games being wiped away from EA's servers. Sad stuff, but I mean, life goes on. Can't really do a whole lot. Matt Likes Games in the chat says EA can never get on a roll. They do something great like Dead Space remake and then take 20 steps back by axing a bunch of old games. I kind of agree with that. I mean, but at the same time, I'm not too surprised that they're taking away some old games to make room for new ones. I just don't know how to feel about that. Maybe they're just not getting the kind of, maybe it's just not popular anymore. They're ready to move on, quit paying for something that a bunch of people ain't really using. But as we move forward, this Gears of War movie is to be written by Dune scribe John Spates. So if you don't know him, he also worked with, as you see, Dune is one of the movies, but I believe another one was, God dang, what's that? I'm having a brain fart right now. Like Captain, I'm having a brain fart. No, Doctor Strange is what it was. Doctor Strange is what I was trying to think of. But David Walensky, just giving that a shout out. This comes from GameSpot. It says, it wants to be cinema, and I'm thrilled to have the chance to help that happen. John Spates, Dune, Doctor Strange, has signed on as a screenwriter of Netflix Gears of War adaptation, according to an announcement from Netflix. Netflix first announced an animated series and feature-length film were coming to those streaming services back in November of 2022. With more stories to follow, Gears of War is one of the all-time great action games with vivid character, a beautiful design world, and combat system that drives home the lethally um, lethality of war and the importance of standing by your squad mates. Space said in a statement, "It wants to be cinema, and I'm thrilled to have the chance to help that happen," as I read at the beginning of the article. But here's shows Netflix saying Gears of War was released 16 years ago, and to mark the occasion, Netflix has partnered with the Coalition to adapt the Gears of War video game saga into a live action film, followed by an adult animated series with the potential for more stories to follow. I tell you what, I seen Kay Asante not that long ago say, "Hear me out. Add Cliffy B to be one of the like directors or producers or something to help out with making this," because he had noted that Neil Druckmann was there. He was there during the making of The Last of Us, which is why that show probably did as well as it did. You have the creator of the game right there telling you this is how they should feel, this is how this moment should go, yada yada yada. Why not have Cliffy B do the same thing? And I agree with Kay Asante on that point. It's super smart idea. But continuing on, the Gears of War game games focus on a divided society facing the monstrous locust horde and a deadly subterranean threat. The task of leading humanity's last stand falls to Delta Squad, a ragtag fire team led by disgraced Sergeant Marcus Phoenix, which we all love us Marcus. If we some Gears fans up in here, come on, let me know. Gears is fantastic. Are you excited for this show? Or not show, but movie. They're supposed to have an animated show to follow it. Are you excited for that? Just let me know in the chat if you are. But anyways, continuing on, it should also be said that when the adaptation was first announced last fall, Dave Bautista began a public campaign to play the lead in the Gears of War movie. No casting announcements have been made yet, but Bautista is so serious about this that last year, Bautista shared in an interview that he actually turned down a role in Fast and the Furious for a shot at becoming Marcus Phoenix in a Gears of War adaptation. Wow. He's turning down movies before even getting signed. This man is insane. And he obviously got that cake. I mean, if you're going to turn down a role like Fast and the Furious, I mean, either you love Fast and the Furious a ton today or you don't so much. One thing you can't argue is they don't make no money. Fast and Furious makes dumb money every single time. Dumb money. And I'm not even a big fan of. Not. But anyways, let's see. The upcoming Gears of War movie is the latest attempt to adapt the popular game, which redefined the tactical third-person and cooperative shooter genre. New Line Cinema briefly held the rights to a film adaptation in 2007, and Scott Stuber, now head of original films at Netflix, came across as a producer in the 2013 with Epic Games. In 2018, Universal hired F. Scott Fraser to write an adaptation, but no other moves were made on that project. So they pretty much just left the project alone up until now. Is pretty much what they're saying. So look forward to that coming out. Who knows when that's actually going to come out, and who knows actually who's going to be in the movie. But it's pretty interesting to see that we now know who's actually going to be, writing this whole story and whatnot. So it's going to be an interesting story. So the next one right here, oh Lord Almighty, Microsoft tells Sony to make its own Call of Duty. And here's why, to me, this isn't as big of a deal as some people might make it out to be. Sony has great IPs. They have fantastic IPs. They have a couple great shooters. Siphon Filter is a really good shooter. Resistance is a really good shooter. Sure, Siphon Filter is nothing like Call of Duty. Let's be real about it. Resistance, pretty dope. How about Killzone? Yeah, Shadowfall might not have been the best thing in the world to a lot of people, but there's still a lot of people that found that game good. And I don't think very many people would argue if they made a new Killzone. Remember, that was supposed to be the Halo killer back in the day, and they fumbled that bag. Let's not forget about one of the greatest shooters of all time. That is SOCOM. Sony, you have opportunity to make a great game just based off of the IP that you had previously. So you don't have to sit in the boardroom and think of a brand new idea if you don't want to. You can. That'd be interesting. I think a lot of people would, perk their ears up to that and be like, yeah, I'll try something brand spanking new that I've never seen before. Why not? But the whole thing is they don't have to. So when I hear Microsoft's telling them to make their own kind of game, it's like, yeah, why? Why don't you do that actually? What is wrong with that? Sure, that might cost you a lot of money, but hey, they're giving you a 10-year deal to figure it out. Hey, I understand, Nelson. I see you in the chat saying you can't compete with Call of Duty. Titanfall is a good example, a great game, better than COD. Got straight and nuked by COD. Sure. But let's not act like COD didn't work its way into where it is. Right? You're definitely not. Sony's not going to come out with a game and beat it overnight. Sure. They're not. They're not going to beat it overnight. But to be able to compete, have something that's your platform only. I mean, hell, it's up to them. And obviously you can say, well, we can't do it. We just can't do it. Well, then take the damn 10-year deal. If you know you can't do it, this deal is still available for you to get. And you think after 10 years, Microsoft ain't going to be like, yo, you want it again? They're in the business to make money, not to be stingy. I'm sure in some aspects they want to be stingy. I'm sure in some aspects they should be stingy. But yo, if they start to be stingy with Sony, that's going to scare a ton of other companies. How about the ones that they just signed the deal with, like Boosteroid, Ubitus, in NVIDIA, however you want to say that, Nintendo? Do you think after just 10 years, they're just going to go completely away from all of these places? That's what I'm saying. Like, Sony can do it if they want to do it. But see, here's the thing. Sony is very reliant on third parties. They're fine to keep they're fine to keep getting Call of Duty for the rest of life. But if they have to pay Microsoft to do it, they don't like that. Because they're directly keeping their competition alive by paying them to put a game out onto their console. I mean, come on. I mean, they got... Not only do they have the IP, but they just got Bungie. One of the best shooter developers of all time. You say it doesn't matter if your game's better than COD, but the thing is, like, you just mentioned Titanfall was better than COD, but look at the support for Titanfall. Call of Duty didn't kill Titanfall. Titanfall killed Titanfall. They stopped supporting it. They stopped caring about it. There's no roadmap. I feel like Titanfall isn't the best example. I feel like maybe Battlefield's a better example. But Battlefield's notorious for fumbling the bag as well. Hint, look at Battlefield 4. Battlefield 5 didn't do as great. And then for 2042, they fumbled the bag again and then blamed it on another game. You got to be consistent. Players got to know what they're getting. Call of Duty does a fantastic job at marketing itself and getting itself out there and preparing themselves for the next time around. Sony's already great at marketing. They already have great IPs. They already have a great developer. What else do they need other than just the game? I think all they need is to sit down and try to make a game, or just live vicariously through these 10-year deals. I think this is a prime opportunity for Sony. This isn't a bad thing for Sony. This is a prime opportunity to steal some clout away. If you think that Call of Duty is a big deal and you know that you are the biggest seller of Call of Duty on the PlayStation platform, you should look at this as an opportunistic moment where you could possibly make a game. It might not kill Call of Duty right away, but it will get some mind share. It will get some mind share. It will get a lot of people to run over. People are dying to play new games all the time. And we already know if you say Sony exclusive and then it's a bomb ass shooter and it's FPS, it's going to throw a lot of people. It's going to throw a lot of people off to the side. Like, wow, Sony came out with an FPS that's good and it's exclusive. That's wild. You know, I'm just saying it's a possibility. And then on top of it, you have, I mean, like I said earlier, you got Bungie. Bungie's even willing to do things as a third-party company for Xbox and PC and yada, yada, yada. So if you want to put out something that competes again with Bungie and just say, all right, well, everybody can do it. So then you're snatching money just like Microsoft snatching money for Call of Duty. Sure, like I said, you probably ain't getting that bag like Microsoft at first. But if it's a great game will speak volumes. And if you continue to support it, the people will find themselves playing. My interpretation on it. But let me get into the article that's Lord, here's another name I'm gonna chop up. So Rhiannon. I'm thinking it's Rhiannon Bevan, I guess. But it says Microsoft tells Sony to make its own Call of Duty. Microsoft might be offering to share Call of Duty for a time, but ultimately it wants the series to itself. So, this might combat some of the stuff that I just got done saying, which is fine. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's just how life works. But anyways, it says Microsoft is hitting back against Sony claims that Call of Duty can't be replaced, which is insane to me. I hate hearing that kind of stuff. Like, this game is impossible to possibly beat. Like, I understand it is tough right now, and it kind of got the market. It cornered the market, right? But it didn't just do that overnight. It didn't just do that in you know, like things are being called impossible when they're not even attempted. It's not impossible if you don't even want to. I mean, sure, it's impossible if you don't want to do anything about it. Yeah, then it's impossible. But if you're actually gonna give a damn, gonna try, gonna, put out some blood, sweat, and tears and give a damn about, the situation you're in, absolutely. You can do whatever you want to do. PlayStation's already the top. Did you guys enter the space saying, you know what? It's impossible to be the market leader? Did PlayStation enter the console gaming space and say it's impossible to be the market leader? It's impossible to beat Nintendo. It's impossible to beat Sega. No. So don't say that it's impossible to beat a game that's been fluctuating. Obviously, it's still going to make crazy amount of money, but it's still fluctuating. There's still room to get yourself in there and figure something out. But anyways, I'm getting back off the topic again. Let me get back to the topic. So it says, this comes as Microsoft says that 10 year of multi-gen Call of Duty release gives Sony more than enough time to make up for its losses developing its own online shooter to compete with the gaming behemoth. Sony has previously suggested this would not be possible, even trashing Battlefield in the process. So I actually brought that up just a little bit ago. Since it would be the closest thing it had to Call of Duty, should it go to Xbox exclusive. This also suggests that Xbox is switching strategies, going from promises to share Call of Duty to saying PlayStation should simply develop its own game. You know why they're saying that? You know why they could possibly be saying that? Because you're making such a problem. You're making such a problem out of this. And you're pretty much, Lulu Chang came out straight up and said, yo, Jim Ryan, bro over there just said that he don't even care about Call of Duty. He just wants to block the deal. So what Microsoft is saying then, all right, since you don't need Call of Duty, kick rocks. Go figure it out. Here, take this 10-year deal. Actually, take this 10-year deal. Take this 10-year deal, figure it out, and then be gone. You said you don't care. You just want to stop the shine. Insane. But yeah, I think that's wild. Continuing on, Microsoft considers that a period of 10 years is sufficient for Sony as a leading publisher and console platform to develop alternative to Call of Duty. Says Microsoft providing evidence to the Competition and Marketing Authority, CMA, in the UK. Microsoft's testimony also says that the 10-year deal is putting on the table will extend into the next console generation. However, it's not clear if the games that are released during that time frame will be on rival storefronts or be delisted as soon as the deal expires, which I don't know. Nobody can really say. Games downloaded in the final year of the deal can continue to be played for the lifetime of that console. The statement reads, possibly hinting that the game will have to be installed to be played after that date. Yikes. Now that's something to me maybe a little nervous. Not gonna lie. That's a little nerve-wracking. Innate in the chat, welcome through. He says, I wouldn't say it wasn't overnight. Modern Warfare 2 was literally over. Well, yeah, Modern Warfare 2 was this Modern Warfare 2. The previous Modern Warfare 2 was a banger as well. I'm talking about Call of Duty getting started. This is why I said that earlier. Like I said, yo, they're not gonna get Call of Duty numbers immediately. Sure. But I'm sure during this time period, with you being flustered about Call of Duty, the fans knowing damn well that it ain't yours, it never was, but it definitely ain't yours no more. With the fans of PlayStation knowing that. Okay, so you were talking about the original. Well, yeah, the original Modern Warfare 2 was like what, like 3, 4, 5 games in though? Like, I'm just saying Call of Duty's been around for a hot minute before they got hot like Modern Warfare 2 that you're talking about. They were around for a minute before they got hot like that. Oh, I digress. All right. So, anyways, it says Microsoft's testimony also says that the 10-year deal puts it's putting on the table will extend the next. Okay, I already read that. So in any case that Microsoft's putting its cards on the table, it will it's willing to offer a decade of Call of Duty, but nothing beyond that. It will be up to the CMA to decide if that gives Sony enough time to make up for the competitive edge that Call of Duty exclusivity will give Microsoft, or if that's even possible, the series' long reign over the gaming market. So far, the CMA has suggested that the public is in favor of the deal, at least as long as the emails it's receiving aren't from bots. Oh, that's an interesting way to as long as it's not from them filthy bots. No. I'm sorry, I had to laugh a little bit on that one because I just thought that was a funny way to end that article. That's fantastic. Matt Likes Games in the chat says also not always about the numbers at first. It's about mindshare. They need something to grab mindshare. If they can do that, then the numbers will follow. Innate says, to be fair, it started with Call of Duty 4, but I didn't get caught up until OG Modern Warfare 2. Matt, exactly. That's the real problem. You could create a better game than COD. Yeah. I'm with that thought process. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is what Sony's kind of nervous about in the trend, or I don't know if nervous is the right word, right? Exactly, but in my opinion, it's just like, yo, it's crazy how these free games are coming out, and games as a service are coming out. We already know that Sony's working on like 10 of them, something like that, right? 10 or 12 games as a service games. There is no telling that if one of their games as a service games is going to blow up or not. And that doesn't even include like what we're talking about with like Resistance possibly, or SOCOM or whatnot. I mean, who knows? They may have something like that in development, but nothing that we know of exactly. I think that the possibilities are sky high with the ability to kind of break down the barrier of entry and make it more easier for people to be able to play. So maybe Sony says, you know, this game isn't $70 because we're doing games as a service. And they make their own game because remember what they said about Call of Duty. The game sold great, right? But it wasn't the game sales itself that made it so profitable for PlayStation. That was only a piece of it. I'm sure $70 was nice, right? $60, $70 for years. That was fantastic. That was nice. But it was the microtransactions and stuff like that that really kept that game pumping on PlayStation. So if PlayStation can come out with a great gas game, I mean, hell, they got The Last of Us Factions coming out. I'm anticipating that to be a fantastic game. They got Twisted Metal that they're working on. I'm anticipating that to be a day one play for me and a fantastic game. Let's see, they could have Call of Duty for the next 10 years. They got Bungie. They have things, lots of things that can help them continue or help to replace Call of Duty sometime in the future if they don't end up holding on to that IP. So that's just my opinion on it, though. I mean, I think it's that simple. And Nate says, he says, my friend doesn't even have a current gen console, but first thing he asked me is, how hard is it to get a Series X, because I need to play the new Call of Duty. He doesn't even know how it is. I get that. They built up a reputation over time. They didn't do it overnight. And that's why I'm saying that this is a great opportunity for Sony right now to get something working, get something out. Yeah, it takes years to like, if they were to start from scratch today, it might not come out until the PlayStation 6. Right? But people aren't going to forget that. I mean, especially if let's say Sony gets this 10-year deal, right? And then the new PlayStation comes out, the 10-year deal is over, but PlayStation has a replacement for Call of Duty, and they refuse to, like, let's say Microsoft offers them another deal, and they're like, no, we good. We got our own game. You're not going to say that they're not going to be marketing it like crazy, like it ain't going to be fantastic. Like it's going to have zero chance at all. Yeah, I'm sure that Call of Duty is going to beat its ass again, right? But just entering this space to go Versum is interesting enough to grab minds of people. It's interesting enough to grab minds of people to the point that they're going to want to go over there and at least give it a try. At that point, it's up to Sony to make sure that they put together a good game, put together a good experience. You can get the people over there. You already have you already have the mind share right now. You already got the people there right now. You already got the most consoles sold between the Xbox and, you're already crushing it. So it's up to you to figure it out. And I think they really could. I think they could do something fantastic. I don't know, but I think they could. I totally think they could. Anyways, and Nate, Matt Likes Game said he's pretty stoked for factions. And Nate says, we have to agree, though, no one, and I mean no one, has ever come close to Call of Duty with another FPS since Modern Warfare 2 on their worst year. Yeah, but who could do it? Who could do it? Or better yet, who could do it better than probably Sony could? EA's proven they can't. I'm just saying it's an option. It's something that, it may cost a lot, might take a lot of time. But if you don't like this deal like you are saying, and you don't need Call of Duty, you just want to block this deal? What's wrong with a bunch of people like me coming out and saying, then just do something about it? K. Asante, I agree, bruh. Stanley Francois, thank you so much for coming through. It's always fantastic to see you, bruh. But K. Asante says Sony has rested on their laurels for too long. They are a market leader for a reason. It's unfortunate to see they are now in this position of fear of innovation. Facts. They put themselves in this position. They didn't have the capital to get Activision. If you think if Sony would have got Activision, they'd been like, you know what? We're going to give Microsoft a fantastic deal. Like, let's turn this around and look at it the other way. You think Sony would have actually said, you know what, Microsoft, hard times. We understand hard times. We got one of the biggest IPs, hard times for you. We get it. Here's a fantastic deal. Here's a good deal to help you stay into gaming. PlayStation says, Microsoft, we got you. No. PlayStation would never help out Microsoft like that. No. So I just think I just think this is insane. But anyway, this was a great conversation. But what's even more funny is, check this out. Gamer lawsuit against Microsoft merger thrown out of court. So everyone trying to hop on that bandwagon of, oh yeah, screw Activision for trying to go to Microsoft. Nah. That ain't working. Before I get into this article, let me run over to the chat real quick, see what's cracking. So Nelson Gaming says, someone with 5K devs laying around. I mean, you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying. I mean, that's why they can flip out a new Call of Duty so dang fast. It's because they got a lot of people. But this goes back to what Kay Asante just got done saying. They rested on their laurels too long. They leaned on third party too long. They thought they were the bad bitch for too long. And they forgot that somebody else got that bag bigger than theirs. Never thought they'd actually use it, but they did. And now Sony is doing what they can to protect their stuff, sure. But it doesn't look very good. It's not a good look. And then Nate says, I honestly think PlayStation would have been an idiot to purchase them because of the strength of ABK's franchise, that they are multi-platform. And then Kay Asante says that they should have had a SOCOM reboot completed and on the shelves just waiting for this day. Instead, they're crying, why weren't you preparing for this day? I agree. I said SOCOM earlier, Kay Asante, bruh. I said, yo, SOCOM, it was a masterpiece for the PlayStation 2. It was such a big game. I remember that because I hated it during... I was not a SOCOM fan. I was a Conflict Desert Storm guy. I hated SOCOM. But everybody was playing it. Whenever I pulled up to a friend's house with Conflict Desert Storm, they said, get that shit up out of here. We don't care about that. We SOCOM. So yeah, SOCOM was that shit back then. Why couldn't it be that shit again? Will it eat up Call of Duty on launch? No, nothing will. Nothing's going to eat Call. And see, that's what PlayStation wants. In my opinion, they see this happening and they say, oh, it's impossible. They say it's impossible because they can't just walk up and smack Call of Duty in the face right away. They can't. They have to grow into possibly competing with them. Not into beating them, into competing with them. They have to grow into that. As I said, Kay Santi said it earlier, rested on them laurels. You bought up all these deals. Keep this game from Xbox. Keep this game from Xbox. Keep this game from Xbox. Oh shit, Xbox bought them. They can't keep that game from Xbox. That's how it happened. They throwing money everywhere saying, keep these off of Xbox. And then as soon as Xbox throws a massive bag at somebody, they're like, oh, that's not fair. It's silly. It's silly. Anyways, we're up out of this. Anyways, yeah. So let me get into this because I'm going down that rabbit hole again. But anyways, Sean Murray from The Gamer has this article right here saying gamers lawsuit against Microsoft merger thrown out of court. The 10 gamers didn't prove that Microsoft Activision merger would produce anti-competitive effects. Look at this. This is insane. So, I mean, I heard about this a little while ago and I thought it was just funny. And I was just thinking, you know what? Everybody and their mom is going to be hating this, especially if they're a Sony fan. They just don't want to see Xbox do anything with this. I feel like a lot of people have that same sentiment of Jim Ryan. They don't really care about Call of Duty. They probably don't even play Call of Duty. They don't own Call of Duty, but they just don't want it on Xbox. That's how I look at a lot of this. While the FTC sued and the European Commission and the CMA both launched an investigation, a group of 10 gamers from across the United States. What? All right. Anyways, from across the United States launched their own antitrust lawsuit against Microsoft to block the Activision merger. In its filing, the 10 gamers said the merger would give Microsoft an unrivaled position in the gaming industry, leaving it with the greatest number of must-have games and iconic franchises. Wow, how about that for Xbox has no games? So, and this is what's funny because I seen this tweet earlier. I'll go on. I've seen this tweet from J-Dub earlier, talking about, you know, bots this and, you know, Phil Spencer lovers that and all this crazy stuff. And in just a few months back, and this had to do with the Redfall thing. He was mad that Redfall was supposedly supposed to come out the PlayStation or whatnot, but it's not at all. I just remember a few months back, I mean, probably less than that, but in honest memory, about a few months back, I thought Xbox had no games. Last year, heavily. Xbox has no games. Xbox has nothing to play. I joke around with my friends in the party chat all the time. I pretend to be a pony in there. Sometimes I'm like, oh, Xbox got no games. Just talk some dumb shit. And my friends just tell me shut the fuck up all the time. It's fantastic. I have a good time messing with them. But I tell you, how do you go from they have no games to whataboutism? What about me? My platform. I thought we didn't have any games. Why are you arguing about our games if we ain't got none? Anyways. Hey, facts, Innate. Facts, Innate. He says most people talking about the APK deal haven't played COD in the last 5 years. Let's be real. Ain't done nothing with Activision games. But they super worried about it going into Microsoft's hands. Ain't that something? That is something. What? Oh, okay. You're saying the last SOCOM. Okay. Yeah, maybe the last SOCOM wasn't taken care of as well. But I remember in the early days, man, I couldn't go nowhere without hearing anything about that. Innate says people love that SOCOM last release, loved it, but it would never be a game quarterly or quarter of the popularity of even Battlefield. I don't know. See, I don't know about that, especially with like if Sony comes out with this high fidelity, good looking game that has a single player but does an awesome multiplayer. I think they could have something, but like I said, it's all about building it up. It's not about throwing a knockout punch when you're a rookie and come on now. We all know there's some great games out there. There's some great shooters out there, but there's several games that came out just this year that were fantastic. Like, in my opinion, Atomic Heart was fantastic. In my opinion, Hogwarts Legacy was fantastic. But with those two games being brand new IPs or just brand new to this generation, you look at it and you're like, yeah, this is great, but they definitely got some stuff to work on if they get the next one to come out. And I'm 100% expecting that to happen if Sony actually gets off their butt and they decide to start making a game to try to compete. It's probably going to be really good, the first one. And then the second one might be a little better than good. But if they don't give up and they keep trying and actually put out something that people are ready to look forward to, I think you can build upon that success. That's how Call of Duty did it. They didn't put out one game and take over the world. They put out a few, and then like game 3 or 4 actually popped off, and they've just been riding that high ever since. You know? But oh my goodness, I keep getting off topic so much. But anyways, in this topic that I was reading, talking about these 10 people in the United States that sued, that were looking to sue for the Activision Blizzard merger. To continue on, it says later, 3 months later, the Gamer lawsuit has now been tossed by Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley. IP analyst Florian Mueller via Games Radar posted the granted motion to dismiss on Twitter yesterday, confirming Microsoft had successfully dodged at least one legal hurdle blocking it from acquiring Activision. In her decision, Judge Corley said that the suit does not plausibly allege the merger creates a reasonable probability of anti-competitive effects in any relevant market. The 10 gamers said that the merger would result in the elimination of a rival. But Judge Corley didn't see enough evidence to suggest either Sony or Nintendo would be eliminated following the Activision merger. So he's saying that this one merger right here would eliminate. They're not saying that it'll eliminate Nintendo because we already know it won't. They're saying it would eliminate PlayStation. Because we already know that the Activision games aren't really popping like that on Nintendo like they are for PlayStation and Microsoft. So that's what they were kind of getting to. Those 10 gamers were saying, no, you're gonna kill PlayStation. Stop it. And Judge said, stop it. Y'all stop it. Insane. So as for allegations that Call of Duty would be made exclusive if Microsoft were to allow to acquire Activision, Judge Corley said there was no appreciable danger of that ever happening when Microsoft could make 1 billion in 10 days if it counted to release on all platforms, which to me is like, duh. I think Microsoft wants this to go out as soon as possible. I mean, think about it. If Microsoft puts all these things onto all platforms, right? And Call of Duty is making that money like it does, and they just spent 68.7 billion. They're recovering their losses fast, super fast, by just giving out deals that other people gotta pay for. So it would be dumb for Microsoft to say, nah, we don't want to share this. Which was dumb of me a little over a year or two ago when I was thinking, you know what, Microsoft might be, selfish and keep this to themselves. I said that. I'm not scared of taking the L, especially my own. I don't give a shit. I'm wrong all the time, but I'm right a lot too. I think a lot of people need to realize that about themselves a little bit more. But anyways, I'm telling you, all right. Let me get back to this chat, because y'all are knocking this chat out the park today. I'm absolutely loving it. Sour Blow, what's up, dog? Nelson Gaming says, I actually really liked Atomic Heart. Wish more people played it. Absolutely, Atomic Heart was fire, and in fact, they got the FOV slider in Atomic Heart now, so now you can back yourself up away from that gun a little bit more, have some more space to be able to, see what's going on around you and stuff like that, because it felt like you were way too close before, you know what I'm saying? So now you got that FOV slider, and it's not just for PC, it's on console as well. So go on ahead and give that a try if you haven't yet. Kayasante said COD and Battlefield wasn't COD and Battlefield from jump. Exactly, that's what I've been saying, bro. He said it took a lot of iteration to get it to the height they are now. That's what Sony is usually good at, iterating on a good idea. Look at Uncharted. Yes, that's all I'm saying, Kay Asante. Thank you. You hear me. I'm sure the rest of y'all hear me as well. But Kay Asante came outside and just said it. He just said it. He just came out and just said it. Like they can do this. You can do it. It's your choice if you give a damn or not. Do you give a damn enough to do it? Then do it. If you don't, enjoy your 10-year deal. That's the choices you got. Whether you love it or not, that's your choices. All right, and then let's see. Nelson says, call the this is disrespect. Yeah, call the 10 virgins. Oh man. Yeah, the 10 salty ass motherfuckers. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, so Innate comes through and says, I hear you, Han. I'm just saying we've had just as many Battlefields and they're essentially lost popularity year over year. I'm just saying it's more complicated than just tendency and consistency. And I get that. Yeah, you got to give people what they want. Has Battlefield year in and year out give people what they want? Have they made some decisions that had some people like? Remember when Battlefield 2042 came out and they said they're going to be online only, no campaign? A lot of people were like, sure, people can say, oh, if you look at the numbers, this many people played versus the multiplayer. This many people played the campaign versus the multiplayer. Some people buy the game not to even play multiplayer at all. For me, when I purchased Call of Duty, I got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I got the previous Modern Warfare in 2019. I did not get those to play online. You can ask Matt likes games in the chat. He plays with me every night. I like Call of Duty, but I don't like it just for the multiplayer. I mostly like it just for the campaigns. It sounds crazy, I enjoy the multiplayer. I play the multiplayer, not often, but I own it and I do play it. I'm more of a fan into something that I can have a story with, especially a co-op story. I think those are the best, and I really miss that from the old school Modern Warfare's. Like I believe Modern Warfare 2 and 3 had the campaign co-op, which was absolutely fire. I remember climbing that thing with the ice picks. You know what I'm saying? Riding that snowmobile, shooting from the back of it. Like, yeah, those were my joints right there. I absolutely love the Call of Duty campaigns. The multiplayer, it's a hit and miss for me. I enjoy it one day, and then I put it down for a month. And then I pick it up and play it for 2 weeks, and then put it down for 3 months. Like, that's the kind of Call of Duty player I am. I play it here and out. But when I initially get it, I got to play that campaign. All right. Oh, Nelson, you got a question for me. I see that. I'll get right back to that here in just a second. Innate said, let's be honest about Nintendo. Their platform exists almost to sell entirely third party. I don't think any third party game exclusively on Nintendo has broken 3 million this gen. Really? You don't think Breath of the Wild broke 3 million? Tears of the Kingdom's gonna break 3 million in I don't know, like 2 weeks max. I think that's too long. I think Tears of the Kingdom's gonna be ridiculous. He said typing so fast on my phone. I feel you, Nate. I appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate you for being here, for real. Mr. Joanna Dark, welcome. And Nate said, yeah, I remember that. I keep telling people you need both. My friend's sister bought Modern Warfare 2 to play the single player. Yes, you gotta have the single player and the multiplayer. The single player almost gets like I had to hop into the single player of Modern Warfare 2, although I played the beta of it and I kind of got the idea of it. I still wanted to dial in some things that I could only feel like I can dial in comfortably during the campaign. You don't get that kind of opportunity to just kind of sit in one spot and kind of just mess around with stuff in game with like enemies running around or anything like that, like you do in single player. So I appreciate that a bit more. Nelson Gaming asked if I finished Atomic Heart. Yes, I did, sir. I did that last fight with those two crazy bitches. Yeah, those women were nuts. But it really wasn't that hard of a boss fight. They were just crazy. They're just crazy. The moves that they were doing and stuff like that. The dancing, fighting. It was insane. It was a fun game. The open world was a little much. I thought it was really cool that you could shut down the power in an area and that power stayed down for a long time. And I did like some of the puzzles that were in it, but I thought it was overdone with puzzles. Too many puzzles. But I did enjoy it. I thought they should have had some puzzles more as like a side mission instead of a main, because sometimes it just felt like they were slowing me down just to slow me down because I didn't beat the game too fast. That's kind of what that game felt like from time to time. Yeah, Nate said I always played single player on Call of Duty. Yeah, they brought co-op back in Modern Warfare 2. Oh, wait, in this Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, they have co-op in the campaign. I want you to clarify that. All right, but while he's doing that, Matt Likes Game says, especially weird considering how good Battlefield campaigns have been. with Battlefield 3 and 4. Okay. So gotcha. All right. I read the correction, Nate. I got you. You're good. Miss Joanna Dart says Tears of the Kingdom will be the GOAT. I don't know, man. I'm looking out for Starfield. Honestly, if I'm being honest, so I heard something in Dealer's chat yesterday. I was watching Dealer's show, and Fonz is adamant that Starfield is gonna be bigger on launch than Spider-Man. Who agrees? Who disagrees? Because I personally think Spider-Man is gonna be bigger for the month and maybe a few months, and then Starfield's gonna eat it up after a couple of months. Because really, I mean, if you look at the two types of games they are, one, you get to the end really quick, and then the other one, it just feels like you can play it forever. So in my opinion, I think Spider-Man's gonna kill it for a little while just because of the name, the IP. Insomniac don't miss. But Bethesda has a hard time missing as well. I mean, hell, 76 still stole really well. I mean, Skyrim, they're the makers of Skyrim, which is one of the greatest games of all time. So to discount them it's insane. It's insanity. Make sure you guys hit that like button, though. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate everybody that's come through. It's been awesome. We're not quite done yet. I got one more article to go through after I get done going through some of these chats. But yeah, it's been a fantastic time here with you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, share this out if you can. Let everybody else know that I'm live, or let them know that they can come through and watch the show whenever. It'll be here. But Mr. Joanna in the Dark says, I think there will be many gaudy games this year. Innate said they brought back the co-op mission in Modern Warfare 2 separate from the campaign. The way it was in the original Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops mode, where you could do fully co-op. Okay, yeah, I have seen that. I have seen that, Innate. I thought you were just talking about regular campaign, front to back. See, I remember the Spec Ops mode on Modern Warfare 2, the original, were Modern Warfare 2. More or less, Modern Warfare 3 was probably my favorite one of them all, because they had that survival mode. That survival mode was so fire. Doing the waves of enemies, being able to drop predator missiles and get sleight of hand and stuff like that. It was really cool. It was a really cool game. Nelson Gaming said, I think Starfield will outsell it this year. 32 million users, to like 500 million. Oh my goodness. You think, okay, I'm not mad at that. I don't think that's crazy either. Because I mean, really, you could go both ways. Because in one dimension, you got Spider-Man, which is a fantastically known IP. It's gonna sell. It's made by a fantastic developer, and it's on the leading, platform right now, which is Sony. Sure. Both games are, first party games, but the thing about Starfield that may come to fool me in the near future is, got to remember that game's on Game Pass. So that game's going to get immediate engagement. Yes, Spider-Man will get immediate engagement too, but will it be as dense as the engagement on Starfield? I mean, you might have something there. Nelson. You might. Matt likes games. Spider-Man is a bigger IP, but people underestimate the size of the Bethesda community on PC. That's very true. Steam I think on Steam it's like the most wish listed or most anticipated game on there. So not too surprised to hear that at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if it definitely crushed it on Steam. And that's also another thing to kind of keep in mind is, this game is coming out on Xbox and PC at the same time, while Sony is still being a stingy ass motherfucker and keeping their game on just the console and then releasing it later on the PC, which I still to this day think is stupid. It's stupid in my opinion. You want to have 2 launches for what? You don't think just launching initially on PC wouldn't just be the same numbers? Look at what happened to Returnal. Look what happened to Returnal when you put it on PC later. Nobody wanted to pay full price for that. That old game, I mean, it ain't old. Let's be real, it ain't old. But like, you're not gonna get PC players to pay full price for that a year or 2 later. But see, there's levels to this, Nelson. I see you say Rockstar does it, but there's levels to this, as Doc Dark says. There's levels to this. You know? GTA, first of all, is third party. And then second of all, Rockstar with GTA and stuff like that, they know they got the bag. They know they got the bag. Sure, you may know you have the bag with Spider-Man. Sure, they got a bag with Spider-Man. But why when you're trying to compete with another platform and you're complaining, why now would you hold your... I feel like they're holding themselves back and then bitching about it. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you wait a year for Spider-Man to hit PC that it does not get bought at $70. Don't be surprised. Because the time has passed. If you don't drop it on PC day and date, don't be surprised when nobody pays for it full price later at all. My opinion. And Nate says, well, actually, having gamed on PC, the main reason you're not getting a lot of them to pay for a single player game is because PlayStation games have 0 DRM and can easily be pirated 5 minutes after launch. That's a great point. That's a great point. I'm not mad at that, Innate. I'm not mad at that. You cornered me right there a little bit. But we were just talking about Spider-Man, and let's talk about it just a little bit more. So appreciate everybody that's here. Don't forget, hit that like button if you can. It takes a half a second and it makes me happy. I appreciate it. But anyways, Marvel Spider-Man 2 release date leaked by Venom voice actor. So it isn't the exact release date. Thanks, Dustin Bailey from, what is this, Game Radar? Yeah. So yeah, it's not a release date, it's a release window. Let's be real. Let's be real. So it says the game's apparently due in September. So as again, it's not a release date, that's a window. But venerable sci-fi and horror star Tony Todd has seemingly leaked the Marvel Spider-Man 2 release date, or at least its launch month. See what he did right there? That was dirty. While talking up his role as Venom in the upcoming game, responding to a fan that said Spider-Man 2 can't come quick enough. Todd says, looks like September. Massive publicity coming in October. Commercials start dropping in August. So I'm told, hold on to your hold on to your ass, I guess. I don't know what he's trying to say. And hold your breath. I don't know. Hold on to your ... I don't know. But anyways, he says gonna be necessary. Officially, the devs have only ever commented a vague fall 2023 release window for Spider-Man 2. We have seen very little of the game since its announcement back in 2021, but it seems we can count on Tony Todd to keep giving us dribbles of information that developer Insomniac will not. He teases that the scope of the game is massive. Well, it's New York. Should be massive. No, I'm just kidding. But and I ain't gonna lie, Spider-Man and Miles Morales were fire. They were fantastic games. Although I'm super more stoked for Starfield because it's new IP and it's on my favorite platform. I'm not gonna deny that Spider-Man isn't something that I'm really excited for. I'm super stoked. I platinumed Miles Morales. I loved that game. Thought it was really good. So I can't wait for this one to come out as well. He says he teases that the scope of the game is massive. That it'll once again feature motion capture, and that Venom will be playing a particularly brutal role. The lack of official information about Spider-Man 2 has given fans a particularly desperate quest for details on the upcoming game, even as Insomniac has repeatedly assured everyone that it's still on track for launch in later in 2023. Heck, it's been so long that even Microsoft lawyers started to get confused about it. There's a reference in a recent legal document to a big PlayStation Superman game in development, seemingly a mistaken reference to the new Spider-Man. So yeah, thank you, Dustin Bailey, for that. That was nice, I guess. But what do you guys think about that? Are you guys super excited for Spider-Man? I tell you what, I am. Did you play the last one? Did you play Miles Morales, or did you play Spider-Man? I don't know. What was it? Remastered of the 2018 version. Did you play those? Those games were fantastic, in my opinion. The Mary Jane and Miles Morales missions in the Spider-Man in the first one weren't the loveliest to me. But Miles Morales really kicked it back into gear proper, and I really loved it. The only thing I didn't really love about Miles Morales is I just thought it was too short. I beat the game like 3 times. It's fantastic, but it's short, and that's why I said what I said about Starfield earlier. Is like, yo, I think Spider-Man might win the first couple months. But Starfield is such a behemoth that I think over time, it's just Starfield's going to run over a lot of things in its path. All right, so I'm going to get ready to start closing this out. As you guys see, as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and ask y'all, what have you guys been playing lately? Everybody talks about on their podcast what they've been playing lately. What have y'all been playing lately? I see Innate said, I platinum Spider-Man, but I need to finish Miles Morales. Everyone ran through that game so fast, but I got sidetracked, LOL. I put 24 hours into it. I did. Nelson Gaming saying I put 24 hours into it. Did you just do the main line? Are you talking about Spider-Man, or are you talking about I'm still talking about Atomic Heart? And then Matt Likes Game says Miles Morales was great, because it was fantastic, and I expect none the less from Insomniac. They always knock it out of the park, seemingly. Okay, Sour Blow said he's been playing some Metro Exodus and Halo Season 3. Halo Season 3 is fantastic. If you guys haven't tried it yet, me, Matt, Mr. Chivalry, and my wife were all playing Halo together like a week ago. And we were playing this game called what's it called, Matt? Like Light Speed or something. It's this thing where it's just like it's a community game, and it's just a crazy fun mini game. It gave me like, I know that this game was in MCC or whatever, but it gave me that special feeling of action sack back in the day for Halo. If you remember, that action sack was fantastic. I definitely would love to see Griffball come back. I'm not sure if it is. I'll have to look it up and see if it is, but I used to love Griffball. I remember letting my teammate jump in front of me, and I'd hit the hammer down. He'd fly across the map, go grab the ball, and you play Barry Sanders on the way back. You got to freaking dip, dodge, duck, and dive, all that good stuff. So it was nuts. It was really nuts. Nelson Gaming says I prefer Miles because it's less filler. Facts. Absolutely, I agree with you. Matt Likes Games says Diablo. Yeah, I know, bro. You've been playing the hell out of Diablo 3 ever since Diablo 4 shut down its servers until this coming weekend, which we will be getting back into. I'm hoping, Matt, that you'd be down to and anybody else, if any of you guys are getting down on that Diablo beta this coming weekend. I played it last weekend on the paid beta or whatever you call it. The way I got it was that chicken sandwich, son. Yeah, KFC for the dub. It gave your boy dinner and a game to play all weekend. That's how you spend $11. I tell you that much. It was fantastic. I got to level 25 thanks to KFC. It's fantastic. It was so good. I played the hell out of that game. Whether I was alone or playing with Matt or Mike or something. Diablo 4, it's a lot of fun. It's easy to get into. The story is horrific, which is really interesting. Very, very satanic kind of stuff going on in that game, but you're killing those guys, so not bad, right? But anyways, Innate says Fire Emblem Engage as we speak, Octopath Traveler 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, 12 Sentinels, and funny enough, Far Cry 5 co-op last night. Bruh, are you enjoying the Series S and X update or the next, or whatever you're playing it on? Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying that Far Cry 5? Let me know if you're playing it on that Series S and X. Let me know, brother. Let me know. He meant to say 13 cents. Gotcha. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, see, you know that light speed in Halo, stupid fun. Those custom games are freaking awesome. The new like was it like utility tool that you got or whatever you call it on Halo, where it has that shield, but it, like, you just can't see through it, you can shoot through it. I forget what that thing's called, but that thing is dope. I like to put that thing out and then wait for somebody to come out the other side of it and just hang out there with a hammer. It's fantastic. It's great. Let's see. Yeah, Sour Blue, the new event is dope. as well. Yep. But you guys, as you see, what I've been playing lately, it's on the screen. Woo! Maybe I can move. You can see it right there. I was playing. I beat 50 Cent Blood on the Sand in the same day that I started it. It's a fairly short game. It's only a few hours long. Me and Lloyd Banks ran through the streets in the Middle East. I don't know why we were there exactly, other than to get something that wasn't ours. But it was an interesting game. But what I didn't like about the game is every boss fight is a helicopter. Every single boss fight is a helicopter. It's silly. But the shooting in the game is fun. It's literally Gears of 50 Cent. That's what this game was. It was Gears of 50 Cent. You see the way I'm shooting, hiding in the cover position. Yeah, 360. These 360 days games, I tell you, everything wanted to be the next Gears. Everything that was a shooter. Yeah, right, Sour Blow? Yeah, everybody in the chat, y'all like goodbye. Ain't trying to hear none of that. But anyways, yeah, I've been playing this. I just started Dante's Inferno yesterday. That game's pretty fun. Pretty dang fun indeed. Let's see. I've been playing a little bit of Vampire Survivors just to help get my Microsoft points. I've been trying to get my points up so I can spend as little as possible to get that new Diablo game. Because I want to buy it, but see, I want the early access and the whole like battle pass and everything with it, which it comes out to like $90, I believe. So if I keep getting these rewards, I can maybe turn it into just a regular $70 game or possibly even cheaper. So that's what I'm looking to do with my Microsoft points. I love Microsoft points. That joint is dope. But anyways, yeah, as you see right here, man, I was running through this game. I tell y'all, with the sorcerer, that lightning is OP. But check this part out right here. This is funny. So if you can see it in the background, I ran into a body that was that literally let me interact with it and continue just to get money out of it. So you can just see my money growing and whatnot. I ran out of storage space because I picked up everything I freaking could. It was insane. But you can really get after it. You see, I'm getting all this gold. I was cashing out, bruh. I was cashing. Getting that money. Look at that. Look at all that stuff falling out. Man, see, this is why they don't want us to. This is why we're going to have to start over with a new character when it comes out June 5th. Because they don't want people to be stacking up like that. That's out of pocket. But anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for coming through. Thank you so much, everybody that hit that like button and shared this out. I appreciate you. And I appreciate those of you that came through to watch after the fact of me being live. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I try to come out and do this just for fun. If it comes up to something that someday and I start to get money for this, I'm going to remember those of y'all that are in the chat now, because you guys have been with me since day one. Nelson, Sour Blow, Mr. Joanna Dark, Matt Likes Games, and Nate, you've been here quite a bit lately for sure. I've been happy to see you. You always bring up excellent points. And matter of fact, Nate, I heard you have one of the dopest setups in game right now. I don't remember who told me that, but somebody is like, man, you seen a Nate's, I think it was Slow Mo Backslap that said Nate has the most wild gaming setup, and I'd love to see it, bro. Man, I might have to have you on Behind Them Six just so I can see what's going on over there, bro, if you don't mind. But anyways, y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. Do yourself a favor and make sure you come back tomorrow. I'm gonna be with L Boogie tomorrow from Grown Women Gaming. Gonna be doing an interview with her. She's fantastic, really cool individual. I need to learn quite a bit more about her, which is why I'm gonna be having her on the show. So thank you everybody for coming through. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Be safe. And as I always say, keep it gaming or keep it moving. Deuces.